There's so many great things about this movie. I mean, it's just dripping with fun. So just talk a little bit, because it seems like even like the little details, like the close-ups and the far-aways. I mean, there was a lot of style, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun details in the movie. Am I too close to you? No, it just dawned on me how close I am to the row here. What was the question? No.
Well, I mean,
There's
what you
yeah.
do is you take a style like the telenovela.
Yeah.
And you, by the way, you treat it very respectfully, but you're also having fun with it at the
should
same
be
time.
treated with respect. Yes. Yeah, this was, obviously a great opportunity to just kind of have a lot of fun with so many different things, from the initial big idea of me speaking Spanish for an entire movie. And then, once we dove into that, and then we realized, we can kind of have fun with all these kind of early 70s poorly made Mexican spaghetti westerns that were around, and do all the bad edits and jump cuts and bad continuity. It was kind of a big playground for all of that. Matt was kind of getting all these ideas, watching horrible films, and then at the same time he was like, he found these old lenses at Panaflex, and he was like, he shot it anamorphic, and didn't. I'm very technical with film here, but he didn't run it through the DI, so he didn't color correct anyway. So there's a lot more room for mistakes on the negative, but if you do it the right way, it becomes really lush and that sort of thing. He said, so we're going to have, he's like, don't worry, the movie's going to look crappy, but then all of a sudden it's going to surprise you and look really beautiful and epic. And so that was kind of a conscious decision. It was more an exercise in beating down a professional film crew to make mistakes, in a business where it's like you're fired if you didn't fill the coffee cup up to the original level from the previous take. To get a crew to like, no, leave it empty this time, or let's totally change Diego's drink to a different drink and put some umbrellas in it. But it doesn't match. We know. Just shut up and do it.
Speaking the Spanish, I mean, you. By the way, it seemed very natural. So you must have spent a lot of time, because I don't think you.
A lot of time, yes. Oh my God.
Did you speak Spanish before this a little bit?
I have 3 years of high school Spanish, so, and 2 semesters at USC. So, that's excellent Spanish at SC. For those in the audience who speak Spanish, there are many different dialects and many types. So our script supervisor was Puerto Rican, someone else was from Cuba, this, that, and the other. So people kept correcting. So Armando speaks the way you read Spanish in a textbook. He's very formal. He speaks in the usted form, which is like, hello, good sir, how are you today? I am fine, thank you for asking. And and people kept saying, no one speaks like that. And we're like, we know, don't change it. Keep it in the script. And so we had to keep correcting the script back into bad, weird Spanish. Yeah.
Question, did it take improv completely out of it because you were speaking Spanish?
Pretty much did, yeah. Yeah, pretty much stopped me in my tracks. I mean, it was such, it used like 98.2% of my brain just to memorize the scenes. But the other thing which was important to me, the joke of the movie wasn't going to be that I spoke Spanish poorly. I wanted to speak it convincingly because I really wanted it to feel like you've walked into the theater and you're watching a poorly made movie, and that this guy is just part of an all Hispanic ensemble. And in order to do that, I had to have my accent at least in the ballpark of convincing enough. So So what became really hard was I didn't even care what the director thought after a take. I would look to Patrick, the translator, and like, did we get it? Because if we didn't, we'd do the whole scene over again. Because I didn't want to redub it later in ADR and loop it and make it seem fake. So.
Now, how did that work when you were reacting to the other characters? Because they're speaking Spanish. Like, are you going off of visual cues then, or?
I'm just Diego. Those guys improvise all the time. So there were a couple times where I'd be like. Are they done? Are they done talking? Now I can go.
Oh yes, the sex scene. How hard was it?
Yeah.
Did you have a double?
I did not use a double, but the butt you think is mine is not mine. Mine is the lightly shaped woman's looking butt. Yeah. So they used a male butt double because my butt just doesn't look like a man's butt. Yeah. No, that was really awkward and weird. Yeah. The most awkward part was the conversation that night with my wife, where I had to say, okay, honey, I did one of the craziest scenes ever. I'm literally pressed up against this woman kneading her butt, and I just want you to know about it. And she's like, that's all right. I don't care. Yeah. Our marriage is on the rocks. We decided to go the independent financing route. So we didn't do that at first. We just we found a bunch of smaller companies, and Nala Films, who financed it, they got the joke right away and loved it, and no questions asked, and we'll do it. But then the interesting thing was when we screened it for distribution with the studios, everyone said, really funny, not gonna buy it. And except for Pantaleon, and they came in and thanks to them, it's out in theaters. But thanks to the audience and because there's not a lot of there really aren't any posters or trailers or commercials, so not a ton of marketing behind it, and yet people I think are excited about the uniqueness of it, and they're really seeking it out, which is cool.
Sequel,
like 5 of them. Yeah. A trilogy plus 2. I don't know what you call that. What's a series of 5? A quintilogy?
Yeah, quintilogy.
Quintilogy.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
Casa de Mi Padre, in color.